welcome back to my channel, Beauty at 50. I hope you're having a wonderful day. If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. I talk about everything hair, skin and nails, everything beauty and everything revolving around an aging skin. So today's products I'm going to talk about are powders, loose powders and compacts. I have a lot of people asking me why they need to set their foundation with powder. Powder is one of the most important things to set your foundation and to set your look for the day. A lot of people do not like powders because they do sit in the fine lines, and a lot of people think that if they dry or that they are aging, it's going to make them look older. So there's a couple of things that I suggest when looking at powders and the application of powders on the skin. Powders have come a long way from when they used to be very thick and heavy. There's been so many changes in powders over the last just 5 years that I think everybody needs to use a powder, and especially in summer when it is hot and you're needing that makeup to stay where it needs to be. I'm going to share with you some high-end and also some drugstore powders that I have had good results with. I'm actually going to start off with this Fit Me, the Maybelline powder. And honestly, for the price of it, I think it's like $7 maybe. It's a matte poreless powder, and really for the price of what you're getting, if you don't like any shimmer at all to your skin, this is amazing. Most of them come with this little compact. I would not suggest to use that. I know a lot of people do use it. But what tends to happen is when you are using a powder sponge like that, nobody's replacing it, so it's not sanitary, and it could transfer bacteria and things that you don't need on your skin. That's the first thing. The second thing is, when you're using a big brush, what it tends to do is it tends to pick up a very light amount. The sponge tends to pick up so much that once you put it on your skin, you're almost pushing it in, and it's going to almost look like you have the powder on your skin. You don't want the look of powder, you want the airbrush look of powder. So in other words, that mattified all over smoothing look. You don't want to see where the powder was put. So like I say, this is a good drugstore one, Fit Me. The other one that I really like is the Laura Geller. I think I've spoken about this one. Balance and Brighten, but this is actually just a regular powder that I have. And you can see it has a little bit of a shimmer to it almost. So it gives your skin almost a glow to it. But it has got all these different colors in it, as you can see. It's got like brown, a pink, cream, and a white. And that gets transferred to your skin. So for instance, if you're wanting to put it under your eyes, it really smooths it out and you don't need a lot. As you can see compared, now you can see I've got sinus today and my eyes are not doing great, so they are a little bit watery. But you can see how that has smoothed that out already just by putting that there, and I'm using my finger. We're not even using a brush. Really, I am a fan of this Balance and Brighten. I think it is an amazing product. This actually does start its life as a cream, and then it's baked in a big oven. This is actually from Italy, and so then it becomes a powder. So it feels almost like, when you feel it, it almost feels like a cream, but it really is a powder. But this is probably one of my favorites too. It's hard to find it actually now. One of the others that I've used for a while was the Clinique. This one is the Matte Neutral, and it also comes in a compact, but of course with a little sponge as well. I do like this one too. Kind of smooths things out. It's not a heavy type of powder. So the Beyond Perfecting, although the Beyond Perfecting, if I look at this kind of looks a little more pinky, but this was when I was a little more tanned. Beyond Perfecting is going to be more of a full coverage by Clinique. So if you want to do, on those days, if you don't want to use anything, you just want to use a powder and you don't want to put anything on top, this would be a good one. It's just like the Beyond Perfecting and the liquid. It's almost a full coverage. So I have bought Laura Mercier. I think that her powders are some of the best powders out there. Her powders are very finely milled, and I actually have a loose powder that I use. I put this on top of my eye to set my shadow. I use this every day. I kind of drop it in here and kind of buff and swirl, and I really like that. But I've got a small one. These I think are 45, the bigger ones. These, this one's a smaller one from Sephora that I've used. The one that I'm actually using now is more of a bronzer. But it is really nice too. You can see it's extremely finely molded. Now, one of the dupes for Laura Mercier is the number 7, which I really have liked too. You can see I'm almost there. It's going down to pan. Also very finely molded. Actually, let's do this one because I've used that one. Very finely molded. Have been a fan of this too. Really have enjoyed this, and I think these are 12. So I did splurge and I bought the powder that goes with this, Born This Way. A lot of people have said how nice this is. It has the coconut water, it has hyaluronic, it doesn't sit in the lines. It's actually what I'm wearing today. And you can see it's a lot of coverage, so you don't need very much of anything of that. I usually take my big brush, swirl it, and buff my skin. When you are using your brush, be sure that you're not just brushing it off and doing swirling motions round and round and round. That kind of gets the powder in and it buffs the skin. So that's what gives that smooth look. So make sure you take a good amount, tap it off, and then buff it in circles down the neck and forehead and everywhere else. But like I say, I have been very impressed with this one too. Really like it. Like the foundation, like the powder. Of course, I've also got the Bare Minerals. Now, Bare Minerals, I did a training many years ago and have gone back to it, back and forward. Not a big fan of the mess that it makes, just because when you're moving it around, it does make a pretty good mess. However, it does have good coverage, and there's a lot of people that really swear by it. I like it, but it's not up there by my favorites. There's so many options out there. I think it was good at the time in the market, but I think there's just been so many ones that have kind of taken over and moved this away from being some of the better ones. And then the last one I'm going to talk about is this one. It's the Confidence in a Compact. It's a skin transforming full coverage. Now, this is what I would call a cream to powder. So it also comes with a little compact, and I have used it obviously, but I still keep the seal. So if you look at it, it's kind of a cream. So there's the cream, but it actually dries to a powder. It is a really great formula. This one is a little bit light for me. I'll show you here on my hand, over there. It's a little bit light, but I wanted to try the formula, and it is amazing. It dries very quickly, and it becomes more like a powder when you touch it. So it's kind of from cream to powder. This one itself, it's called Confidence in a Compact Transforming Full Coverage Solid Super Serum. So it's actually known as a serum. I think they're not making this anymore because I tried to look for a darker shade when I was at Ulta, and even online I'm finding it difficult to find it. This one I actually got from TJ Maxx, and it's the Fair. So I'm not sure if they've just discontinued it or what, you know, what the situation is with this, but have really liked it. It does give your skin, gives you full coverage if that's what you're looking for. And if you're on the drier side, it does feel amazing because it's almost like a cream. And then of course it dries to a powder. So this would be definitely something I would try if you are dry. I still would go ahead and put some powder on top just to set everything. When I was with Clinique, they always taught us to set your foundation with powder, and I was so against it, but it does really help your skin. and it does make your skin look flawless if it's done the correct way. So don't be afraid of powder. Make sure you get the right powder. Make sure you are matched to the right powder. Doesn't necessarily mean what you in one powder, you're necessarily in another, or in a cream. Make sure that you're in the correct powder. You can also use translucent, which does not have a color. However, be careful with translucent powders because they do make you look a little more paler. So if your foundation is already light and you're putting that translucent on top, it is going to make your foundation a lot lighter. There is one other powder I wanted to mention, and I do have it in my my kit for doing makeup. It is the Airspun Coty. That is also a drugstore brand. A lot of people swear by it. It is roughly $7. I think I've gone through it, but also wanted to talk about that. That's also a really good product. If you're looking for something drugstore, you don't want to spend a lot of money. It is a loose powder. It's not a compact, but it is a good option in setting foundation, and also for oily people. If you are on the oily side, make sure you get the correct color. They do have transparent. They've got quite a range of different ones. That's also available, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, but it is an amazing powder. It has been around for a while, but definitely something worthwhile trying too. So that's my video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, as always, leave below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.